Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Firelink Podcast, episode number 97 for Thursday, January 29th, 2026. Marty Sleeva here, joined by Nick Calandra, Casey Wosu, and producer Eric, and a little squeaking noise in the background. If you can pinpoint where that squeaking noise came from, we'll send you $500 US. It was probably someone's dog. It was probably Nick's dog, for being honest.
No, I won't tell you which US though.
It would be insane if the squeaking noise was coming from my room, this would be terrifying if this room had a squeak. Oh my God. We have a great show for you all today. We're going to talk about Dispatch coming out on Switch. Dispatch, great game. However, coming out on Switch, and they're doing a little censorship. And I feel like everyone's pointing fingers at everyone. Is this Nintendo's fault? Is this Ad Hoc's fault? The children yearn to see the flaccid penises. And Nintendo and or Ad Hoc are denying those flaccid penises. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I don't know. We're going to try to figure it out. We're going to get to the bottom of it. This is going to be investigative. This isn't investigative. This is just going to be us talking. This is the opposite of investigation. Also going to be chatting. Our main topic today is going to be all about Highguard, the game that kind of took over the news cycle this week, revealed at the Keelys about a month ago or so, and released on Monday free to play with all sorts of controversy and scuttlebutt and drama surrounding it. But I know, Nick, you had a chance to put some hours into it. Casey, I don't know if you had a chance to play any at all. But,
yeah, I did actually.
There you go. So we'll be able to chat about that, and then all sorts of stuff we've been playing, including some new bangers like Cairn and Escape from Ever After. What a great show. We don't even have to do, I don't think we have to do this show. I think we did a good enough job of like summarizing what we're going to talk about that it seems like if we actually did the show, we might just like ruin it.
Just let everyone's expectations take over from here.
Yeah, just kind of like think of what you think the show would be like in the best possible way, and that's kind of what today will be. But how are you guys doing? Casey, how are you?
I'm cold. I don't know about you guys. I probably can't say shit based on like where Marty and Nick are, but it's very cold.
I don't think this should be like an Olympics of suffering. I think everyone can be cold with whatever the cold is in their place. Like I think like just because it's colder here than it is for you doesn't mean that you're not cold.
I did spend about an hour earlier today with a sledgehammer breaking the ice that was blocking the path of my car out of the driveway because I did all the shoveling that I was supposed to. But then it continued to snow, and then it got super cold, and so a wall just formed anyway. So
incredible with a sledgehammer.
With a sledgehammer, because
I love it.
Ice is hard.
Yeah,
there was a guy in the news near me using a flamethrower to get rid of his snow. So up your game a little bit.
That seems silly. Yeah. That seems extremely silly. Jesus. What are we doing? Everything is terrible. Don't worry. And great to see so many familiar faces over in YouTube, members of the Green Gang, and folks donating Super Chest. Darwin's Dummy. Thank you so much, been in the Green Gang for 2 years. That broken closet is sentient and squeaking. Oh dear God. I wouldn't like that. If my closet, if this closet started to squeak, was this gonna be like Arrival? Turns out I'm never gonna have a relationship with Jeremy Renner. That's probably for the best if I don't have a relationship with Jeremy Renner.
I think
is he the worst of the 6 core Avengers? Is he the worst?
He's the most durable. He got run over by a truck.
that was in real life.
His fucking social media app wasn't durable.
I want to say yes. But that kind of hurts me because he is Hawkeye, and Hawkeye is the super cool archer on the team.
Sure.
It's just Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye is like the weakest version of Hawkeye I've ever seen.
Yeah, Renner's kind of a weenie.
He's so cool in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I don't know who you get. Like if like you could wave a magic wand and recast Hawkeye. I don't know. Just Orlando Bloom?
Jason Momoa.
No, he can't. No, he's got too many things going on. He's fucking Lobo. He can't be doing all this stuff. He's busy.
But I think he's got the chops to just do every superhero.
He's got too many muscles to fire a bow. You gotta have
snap the bow.
You're wrong immediately.
Ryan Gosling could be him.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? That's actually really good. That's a good pull.
You know what? Kevin Feige, call me up.
Give me Zac Efron.
Oh, I could handle Zac Efron. I kind of like Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Let's Nick, do you have any Zac Efron thoughts before we continue?
No, I'm just glad you checked on how I was doing.
Yeah. Oh, how are you doing?
Wow. I'm good.
Okay, great. I'm glad we went to our correspondent over there.
Update, Nick.
in Kansas City. I know you've had a hard time this week because you've been waiting to goon out on Dispatch on Switch. You've been saying, I'm holding out to play Dispatch until it comes to Switch. And then news dropped this week that Dispatch is coming this weekend. Everyone's very excited for it. However, there's a couple shots of nudity that are going to be censored on the Switch version. And initially, a comment from Ad Hoc claims it was due to Nintendo's copyright criteria, but some folks are kind of skeptical about that. Someone like reached out to Nintendo's support and they said it wasn't on them, which take that with a grain of salt because people who man support lines that's a very difficult job. However, that you aren't necessarily tuned into decisions above you, but
it's not
also
like definitive corporate statements. Yeah,
exactly. But also, there's plenty of go on the eShop right now, and 9 out of 10 of the most recent releases are just hentai games. It's just hentai games all the way down, and then you have stuff like Cyberpunk, which you can create a character and just put a big fat donk on him, just the biggest donk you want.
That point about the store being filled with hentai games.
Cyberpunk is not censored. You can get the biggest donk you want on Switch.
Like, I wouldn't look to the hentai games for compliance in terms of following any of Nintendo's guidelines.
Because it's probably like whack-a-mole with them where they get swatted down. They're like, fuck it, the next one just popped up. Like, it's impossible to really tell.
But the Cyberpunk thing is a good pull in terms of this was a highly marketed big get for the Switch. And I don't know, maybe they got a pass, but I would assume that Ad Hoc only did this because they read what it would take to get their game on the Switch, read whatever that criteria was, and then just adhered to it blindly without incident. And then, someone was like, well, there's other nude games, so no one enforces it. It's not a big deal. And that's maybe why it's being pointed back and forth. But it's weird because you can turn that stuff off in just the game options and all the other versions. Like, you can just pick to have it all censored yourself.
It feels like a very easy thing. And even if on Switch, make it the default that it's off. And it's a thing you need to click beyond so that even if a child were to stumble into there, which, it's still a very violent and vulgar game. So like the fact that there's like a quick peen or like a little bit of like up top nudity, again, that just seems very weird and puritanical that people are clutching their pearls around this, which, Nintendo does have a history of weird and puritanical moves. Laboratory Maniac over in our Patreon. And remember, if you're a member of our Patreon at the $5 tier and above, we solicit questions, comments, and concerns. And also this week, appetizer recommendations, which thank you to anyone in the Patreon who dropped down their favorite appetizer recommendation, because a lot of those were very
Did you ask for appetizer representations?
I did. Yeah, I asked in the post. There were some really good ones. A lot about Brussels sprouts coming back.
There's only one right answer.
What? Sample platter?
No. Mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks are very good. It can't be the only answer, though. What about cheese curds?
What
about onion rings?
It's the only answer.
What about sliders?
What about sliders?
Whole cheeseburgers.
Sliders are a meal.
Like meals. What about like a copy of Sliders on DVD, the TV show? Anyways, this wasn't what Laboratory Maniac was talking about. Laboratory Maniac said, I've seen that folks online have had success in getting dispatcher refunds from Nintendo, and if they don't announce a change soon, I think I'll be joining them. The adult themes and content aren't necessarily the reason I bought the game, but I do expect the game to comes with those themes to treat their audiences like adults. I'm curious because, again, with the timestamp of this is 6 p.m. on Thursday evening, and it's very possible by the time you listen or watch this episode that this news may have changed. This news might change tomorrow. It might change by Monday. This just feels like a very dumb self-goal. Like Dispatch and Ad Hoc seems like they've been just coasting on good vibes since the game's release. Like, I really haven't heard like a single negative thing about it. And then this just seems like one of those, is this on them? Is this on Nintendo? Like, who is this on? I guess folks probably just want a little bit of clarification.
Yeah, I think the confusion is like the biggest story is that it's just weird that no one seems to know why this happened.
Yeah.
Because like the fact that these things have been censored, I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem like that big a deal. Like, I don't know that the like seeing the floppy dong in those couple of scenes where that happens, or the boobs in the scenes where it does happen. Like, I don't think it changes any of the other context of the story. So it's kind of negligible in that way.
Yeah,
but I understand people paying for a thing and then
once you take away the boobs and the dongs, they start taking away everything else. That's how we're losing our rights.
First they came for the dongs and I said nothing. So and then some people, which I think this is just extremely off base and not the situation. Some people are saying, "Oh, this is one of the first projects coming out." Not even projects. Just this is shortly after Doug Bowser left and Devin Pritchard, who's a woman, took over, and they're like, "Oh no, a woman has taken over Nintendo," and it's like, A, taking over Nintendo of America. B, it's still censored in Japan. C, this probably went through cert long before she took over, and D, fucking just get over it. This isn't this.
Just shut up. Shut the fuck up.
If anyone, Bowser wouldn't want that. Bowser, the character, canonically hates seeing donks. Just destroy.
He's been around the company for like 16 years.
Yeah.
And all these guys are like, "It's a woman, she's gonna ruin it all." It's like, no.
How dare they? Incredibly stupid. On the plus side for Nintendo, the Tomodachi Life Direct was this morning, and let me tell you, just gonna be an all-timer game. Truly, it's just an Animal Crossing social, like it's Animal Crossing crossed with the Stanford Prison Experiment for the weirdest sickos out there. Like, it is insane. I'm going to buy this game and just be like, I'm going to build all these people in here and I'm just going to watch them suffer in this little village. And I'm going to make them kind of fall in love and see what happens. It's going to be great. Shout out to anyone who watched the Direct this morning with me.
Anything?
There was a Direct this morning?
Just for that game. Just for Tomodachi Life.
What's funny is, like, people... I've heard multiple people bring up that Direct. Like, Tomodachi Life has, like, kind of a fervent fan base who have been waiting for this.
In Europe and in Japan, it's huge. And Eric's very angry in the comments saying, "Oh, now I care." Eric's trying to gatekeep Tomodachi Life. Eric is being one of those, "I've cared since last year. You're a fake fan." Which, if you want to send hate mail, it's Eric at yahoo.org. So direct your hate mail there. But this game, there was interesting from the Kit and Krista, who are former Nintendo PR, who now just have podcasts and streams and stuff. They've said that they had their bosses come to them back when Tomodachi Life was coming out on the 3DS and being like, "Why does no one in America care about this when everyone in Europe and Asia cares about this?" And they're like, "I don't know. I don't know how we like this might be too weird for Americans," which might be why I like it.
I don't think anything's too weird for Americans these days.
I don't know. They don't want their donks on Dispatch on Switch, and they don't want weird clown relationships in Tomodachi Life.
We need like an actual investigation into just what was happening in the country to explain why we dropped the ball on Tomodachi Life. Like, we might have just been in peril. And just
just might have been like the 2016. No, it was before that. It was 3DS.
Jenna for a Game Arcadia.
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on here?
Why is America so fucked up?
But yeah, Tomodachi Life coming out in April, and we'll give any updates we have on this Dispatch Switch situation as they unfold. Who knows? By next week's episode, maybe there will be stuff to report on it. But also, speaking of stories that kind of keep evolving, Highguard was the big game this week. Released on Monday. This was the game from former Apex Legends and Titanfall developers. That was the one last thing at the Game Awards. The developer then went silent on it and sort of emerged back Monday with a big kind of double dose of, there was an influencer media event, so all the embargo went up for that, and the game was out free to play for everyone. Nick, I know you and Eric are putting together a big old Unpacked about this whole thing for tomorrow. So I guess without stepping on the toes of your video, what's the TLDR for the situation that folks should know?
I don't know if there is a TLDR. It's a whole lot of boy, I feel like we go through this with like almost every big game at this point of like either people are focused on the player numbers, people are focused on the sales counts, people are mad about their Circana stuff. Like, the whole reactor grifter sphere is all over this game for the usual stuff. Talking about, there's people of color in it, so it's going to be another, woke games as a service game. And then the game's media is all over it on the player accounts because it started off at launch with like 100,000 people, which no shit. It's a free to play live service game. Everybody was curious about it. They're going to download it, try it for a few minutes, and decide it's not for me. So no shit. It lost most of its player base almost immediately because that's just what these games do unless they're like going to hit the mainstream crowd. And this game is very much not mainstream. Highguard is very much a competitive shooter first and foremost, I would say, over anything else as of right now. And
I think you guys had a chance
always going to.
You guys had a chance to play Nick. I think you've played a bit of it, and Casey, you've dabbled in it. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on just, all of this thing aside? Like, how is the game? What are the highlights and lowlights?
Yeah, my takeaway is that the more I play it, the more I actually like it. It's funny, like when you look at the user reviews and most of the ones that are negative. I put a source in my video for tomorrow, but there's like a guy that's kind of been tracking the user review scores, and pretty much everybody that's like at an hour or under is negative about the game, and the people that have put like 3 or more hours are actually more positive about it. And it's one of those games that like it has a longer tutorial because it has a lot of things going on. So your basic loop, for anybody that doesn't know, is it's 3v3 on these pretty big maps. Each side has a fort that you're defending, and in the middle of the map somewhere is going to spawn a shield breaker. So basically the loop is you start a round, you take some time to go loot weapons, armor, equipment to either defend your base or use things that can break down the walls of the other bases faster, or other tools like zip lines and stuff like that you can spawn around. And then you're also collecting these gems that the game. I don't think the game does a good job in a tutorial of like really explaining why they're so important. Because these gems you use throughout the match to basically replenish your shields or get other equipment or change your loadout, kind of whatever you need to do to kind of stay with the flow of the match. And it becomes really important if you're getting into the later stages of the match. So each team goes through a looting phase, then the shield breaker spawns in. Both teams are fighting over the shield breaker, and once whoever gets the shield breaker needs to take it all the way to the other base to spawn in a siege tower that will break the shield wall to allow you to start to raid the other team's base. So it's a multi-stage match, which is very similar to like a game like Chivalry. For example, in Chivalry, you start a match by basically 2 armies charging at one another, trying to control a zone. You take over that zone, a siege tower spawns in. You need to defend the siege tower as it gets to the castle. Then while the siege tower is at the castle, destroying the wall, you got to defend the siege tower. Then you get into the castle, then you got to do objectives in the castle, and then there's like a final climatic battle at the end. So it's a multi-stage thing, and I think a lot of people that tried it just didn't give it a chance to understand the loop and get into like the flow of the matches. I think so many people wrote it off very quickly because it's a bit more complicated of a game to play.
Yeah, complicated is the right word. And personally, I played all the tutorial stuff, and then I played like one full match. But that one match I played was like probably the best representation you could get of what Highguard is supposed to be, because it was like very close the whole time. It was like a lot of push and pull back and forth. Yeah. Had a lot of like clutch moments and like I had a great time with the one match I played. But the reason why it clicked so easily for me is because, like Nick said, this game is doing a lot. Like it's borrowing from a lot of different other shooters, and I just so happen to have played all of those shooters that this is borrowing from. Like, your base stuff is siege. Like you literally reinforce the walls of like the sites that you're trying to protect. And then the loot phase is any battle royale shooter like Apex Legends, which this team is known for. Like
MOBA too.
Chests to get like better shielding, better weapons and whatnot. There's a little bit of I'll say Valorant because that's what I've played more than like Counter-Strike, because those gems Nick mentioned are a currency. Like you spend that currency on stores that are like there are some near your base or some in the middle of the map. The thing is, there's so many ideas here that they very clearly kind of double onto themselves. Like if you have currency on a map, like you're mining stuff like Minecraft for this currency, to spend on weapons to upgrade, then you kind of don't need the random loot chests around the map. Like pick one or the other.
Yeah.
It's just kind of overly complicated for no reason. Like the sword breaker thing is basically like it's like, what is that mode in Halo called where there's a bomb in the middle? Like not odd bomb, but it's
oddball.
That.
Yeah,
I guess oddball. Yeah, where you're trying to deliver the whatever it is, the payload. Like it's free for all. It spawns somewhere. The fight over that can be really cool and intense, and then it puts a big mark on your back as you try to stop them from getting to your base. That section is like capture the flag. So there's just so much going on, and because like I've played all of these shooters over the course of my life, once I recognized that that's what this part of the sequence was, I very easily knew what to do as things were happening. So like that first match was just very swift, and it was really fun. Like it's very complicated, but these things do work in the sequence that they laid out. They could stand to make it a little less obtuse. Like again, like the buying stuff, like I don't think that's necessary. The siege stuff, once you get to the enemy base, like the siege is essentially you get a respawn point right in front of the enemy base. So now you're just kind of pummeling them with attempts to like plant bombs on their site, and they're just constantly trying to defend against you with their own respawns. But then if you can't do that, or if you do that, you only take a chunk of health out of the base, and then you get another round, like it resets, where you essentially do another round of the same thing. And then that's why the back and forth, like my match was very long because like we kept
sometimes
going
I go
back
like 40
and forth.
minutes.
Yeah. And it went all the way down to the wire. Like it was a really fun, like horseback gunfight, like trying to stop the guy from getting to the other side. Like it was really fun, really cool, really cinematic. But like I can absolutely see people bouncing off of this heavy. Like other than the complicated nature of it, like I think it's actually really well put together. I didn't get to experiment with a ton of the other characters and stuff, but like I kind of want to at this point.
Did you guys have any tech issues? I know that was a big thing in some of the
I played
were saying the performance
on
issues.
Xbox, and I didn't
turns
have
out
any
playing on
problems.
consoles kind of makes everything better in life.
All right, yeah,
on PC.
I'm on a 4090 and i900K, so I know
what that means.
I'm not really a very top of the line PC. I'm not really experiencing the same issues that other people are.
Yep.
The main thing for me, and like I include my feedback for the developers in tomorrow's Unpack video, so I won't spoil all of it. But a lot of people are kind of talking about the maps are too big, which I agree with and also disagree with, because like these are maps that there are areas on the maps that have better loot and more like gems to capture, and I think it's going to take some time for people to learn those routes and those maps, because like even in the matches that I was playing with more competitive people, we were getting in gunfights over those resources. So I think, it's almost like it is almost like Siege in a way that like people, you got to spend more than a couple matches to really understand the loop of this game, and people don't like hearing that. They want to jump in and immediately know what to do, Call of Duty style. This is
right, get kill streaks and dominate, and
like Casey said, it's a much more complicated game than that. But it is like, it does feel bare bones. Like I think the siege part is really weak. Like just standing in your base watching the siege, happen is kind of boring. Like throwing in some AI enemies around the loot or anything just to kind of spruce things up a bit, I think will add a lot to the game. And it seems like that's the prevailing feedback across the board, is like putting some.
I kind of feel like it could use more players. Like 3v3 feels light in terms of just how much is going on and how big the map is.
I agree. I also, if they add in the PvE elements, I don't think that'll become as such a big deal, because you'll have more things to worry about. MOBAs are mostly 3v3, 4v4, somewhere around there. So
yeah, but nobody likes MOBAs. So let's move. Let's just move away from those philosophies.
Yeah. I don't know what audience this game is going to find. I just don't think it's not going to be a mainstream game. I can tell you that much.
We just don't want to defend the ancients anymore. We're done defending the ancients. Get that going out of here.
But the controversy over this thing is just ridiculous.
Yeah. So, part of it stemmed right away that that people weren't sure why it was the one last thing at the Game Awards. People were like, how much money did they spend? Is people were like, oh, Keighley must be a backer in the studio. Nope, Keighley's not a backer in the studio, and apparently they spent no money. Jeff just really liked this game and was like, fuck, let's put this here. Part of it, I think, getting off on the wrong foot was that it was this kind of a game in that last spot. Whereas historically, if we look at that kind of that final hero spot in the last few years, last year or 2024 was the new Naughty Dog game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. The year before was Monster Hunter Wilds. The year prior to that was Final Fantasy 16. Prior to that was that Matrix Unreal Engine tech demo thing. Prior to that was Mass Effect. So
Noah got mad at that.
Noah's mad at the fact. Hey, you could play it. You could download it. It was playable. It's out now. The year before that was the one example of something that was bad. It was that Fast and Furious Crossroads game, which has already been delisted. But there is a heavy conspiracy theory that I believe in that it was supposed to be Half-Life Alyx in 2019, and that Valve pulled out at the last minute, and Keighley needed to scramble, and it was this. And I actually subscribe. That's one of my, like, I get one conspiracy theory a year, and that was one of mine.
All right.
That was one of mine. The year before that was Joker and Smash. So, like, usually that spot is saved for generally something hype. And this kind of just...
And Jeff knows that. Like, Jeff knows that game. So he would want to fill that slot with something that's going to get people excited. So based on just that logic, I could see this maybe being a last-minute pivot. Like, he really had a lot of fun with this. He wanted to put it somewhere. I was like, well, let me stick it here because I lost what I was going to put here.
Yeah.
Or he just really liked it. Like, I can see a world where Jeff, who also has probably played every single game that this game is cribbing from, understood it immediately, got to play like a really good environment, had a lot of fun games. Like, this is really dope. This might be the next big thing. Because, people can have their own opinions on stuff and then put it in that slot because he thought it was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
it's one of those read the room situations for like social media, I guess, but also like you can't put your entire stock in social media. Like, I could definitely see him seeing this as like a game that the mainstream audience would be excited about. 100 million people watching it, and they're not all angry social media users.
It's just also like we see this all the time, is that like the gaming space on the internet is constantly looking for like a sin eater or something to dogpile on. Like people are like foaming at the mouth for a Redfall or a Gollum or a Forspoken or like Mind's Eye last year. It's one of those like we need to have something to. There's God, I don't even remember the name of that short story. There's a short story about it's like a utopian town, and the reason is because once a year they torture someone to death. And so it's like they're able to be a utopia because it's like the purge rules ostensibly. And I feel like people become obsessed with that instead of, and it's a weird thing to balance, because I think like as critics, as consumers, like I think it is fair to call the lottery. Thank you guys so much. I think that's Shirley. I don't know her last name. I'm going to say Shirley Temple. I don't think it's Shirley Temple. And like as critics and as players, like I think people like you are right to not like something, to voice that, to leave a Steam review that's saying that you didn't enjoy the thing. But it is one of those where it just seemed like people are like, fucking yeah, this is it. It's time to dogpile. Shirley Jackson, thank you so much. It took me a little bit. But it just feels like that was that game for now, because there's no other game, and people are going to forget about this very quickly, and come March or April there's going to be something else. And if it's Tomodachi Life, I'm coming for all of you. Come for each and every one of you.
Yeah,
it's a new sacrifice.
Yeah, like I'm of two minds about it, because like I've written my fair share of videos like complaining about how many games as service games are saying similar stuff and blah blah blah. I'm still willing to try them all. I don't know, maybe I'll find my next favorite game. I have no fucking idea. I think people are like viscerally angry about this even existing, which is weird.
That comes from literally nowhere. Like,
well, I mean, it doesn't come from nowhere. Like, people are profiting off of that. People are profiting off of creating controversies around these things to keep milking. Like, so
I understand like that hate. I understand that hate game, but like, what is even the narrative in terms of why this is a target of hate?
Well, are they
saying
evolved.
Jeff is corrupt? Like it's part of like backroom dealing?
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of different things. So first off, the game was revealed kind of came up with a dud, and then they went quiet, and everybody's like, where's the marketing? Where's the marketing for Highguard? It's coming out in 3 weeks. Where's the marketing? Where's the marketing? It's like, what are they going to say to you at this point that is going to appease you? Nothing. So they might as well just put their heads down and release the game, let it speak for itself, because anything they say, anything they put out about it, anything they try to defend it, is just going to be roasted and attacked. Just put the game out. It will find its audience and be done with it, which seems to be what they're doing, because like I've seen the feedback on, anytime, well, I won't get too much into that, but like the thing that drives me nuts about this type of game, or like any game that the internet has decided is you have to hate it or you have to love it, is like, if I put out a video or I put out a statement saying, hey, I'm kind of enjoying the game, you get 100 million people coming after you like, oh, you should hate this game. You're suck. Sure. Like, this game is shit. Like, why do you like this? Why are you supporting this? And then those very same people will then turn around when the next layoffs happen and be like, well, that sucks. People got laid off. Fuck the games industry. It's like, what do you... I don't want any game to fail. If a game, I don't like a game, I move on from it. And I hope that game finds its audience, and sometimes they don't, and they fail, and okay, that's the way it goes. But this constantly forcing hate and love over all this stuff is exhausting.
Yeah, to be clear, I mean, most of the regulars probably know my position on this. Like, I'm not defending the game because I have no interest in the game whatsoever. I'm mostly just defending kind of this in principle. And mostly just trying to figure out like the same thing of like, you have Steam reviews that it's like 20, 25 or whatever, half an hour into the game. I don't know how much you need to put in a game for a Steam review. And then the reviews are just overwhelmingly negative, bombing it. And like, it's one thing, I do think maybe that's a bigger conversation of maybe Steam needs to separate I am having technical issues with this game versus here are my thoughts on the game, because I do feel like those are two separate things, especially with PC being like, that's just kind of one of the things. It's almost like reviewing a restaurant based on like, they were closed because there was a fire in the kitchen and I couldn't eat there, versus the food gave me food poisoning. Like, both are reasons to dislike a restaurant, but they're kind of different, and grouping them together doesn't help me as someone who's interested in the food at a place.
I don't know if that's a solution, but like so many of the reviews, like, I was digging through them yesterday to work on my Unpack video script, and so many of them are just joke reviews of like either, memeing it as a negative review and they've put 0.1 hours into the game, or, people complain about it being woke or whatever. Like, I do like user reviews definitely need some way to filter. Like, even if you could filter words out.
But the reviews everywhere though. That's Yelp.
I know.
And that's the thing with like reviews like that, like Steam reviews in general, is that they're not critical reviews. They are product reviews. Right? So Steam only cares that a person spent money on a thing and whether or not they were happy about that. So like when a bunch of people are telling you the game is broke, therefore I had a bad experience with this product, like that's valid in Steam's eyes. I feel like you shouldn't be going to Steam reviews as a metric for the game's quality, the artistic merit of the game. You should be coming to folks like us, because that's what we sit here and try to do, is bring you the artful, esoteric nature of this, this work by a bunch of humans or whatever. But that's just not how the world works, right? Like, everything is a product, everything is consumable. And I don't know. My suggestion for this sort of stuff is to ignore it. And I'm sorry, that sounds like pedantic, but honestly, if we just today chose to never again make mention of when these dumbass, clearly rage-baity videos and tweeters, and like, if we just ignore them, it goes away. Like a lot of...
You're at the top of our government right now. I don't know about that.
but our government is not tweeting about Highguard. I promise you that.
No, our government's not tweeting about Highguard, but they're tweeting
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, it's hard to get away from this, But the answer is still the same. Like in a lot of these cases, when folks out of outrage retweet the thing that is making them angry so that more people see it, those other people get angry and they just share it. That hateful message spreads. These dumb grifters get their audience. Like if you really want to stop this, you gotta ignore it. Like whatever this channel is that does this all the time, make sure you ignore it on your YouTube feed so that you never have to see it ever again.
Well, see,
like you gotta silence these people.
It's a point I made in my video or for this tomorrow is like there's a cyclical nature to all this of like people start hating on a thing, people start defending a thing, and then they just start responding back and forth to one another. And all the rest of us are just trying to play the game. It's like, okay, I kind of like it. Either I don't like it or I do. But yeah, I don't like. I don't know. I mean, you and I have been over this before. I think ignoring it has let it fester so much, and it's overtaken so much of the content cycle.
People don't ignore it. That's the problem. Like when people say ignoring it doesn't help, it's because they go and engage with it, and then they say, "I'm tired of ignoring it," and they start engaging with it. You didn't ignore it. It's the second you stop ignoring it, you have not ignored it.
I've clicked don't recommend on that shit so many different times, and it still gets pushed into my feed. Algorithms are forcing it down your throat everywhere you go. Shorts, posts, anywhere.
Don't wear shorts. Wear long pants. It's winter. What are you doing?
I'm in joggers, man.
Damn. Look at that.
They even have pockets.
Incredible. What a time to be alive. Resident Shuni over in YouTube, thank you so much. This was on the previous topic. Says, take this with a grain of salt, but I read reviews from devs where Nintendo seemed okay with, quote, heated romance and excessive violence in their games, but seemed to draw a line if both are present. Which is interesting.
Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I mean, that would be, that seems like that game has ultra violence and the horned up scenes. Same thing with The Witcher and everything. So
is it both present in like the same relationship? Like there's gratuitous violence in the heated romance, and that's where they're like, no, we don't want this.
It's like the don't swim a half an hour after you eat kind of thing. It's like if there's something sexy, you got to wait 30 minutes before you do something violent.
Like right. The scene in 300 Rise of an Empire.
Yeah. That's the second 300 movie. You can't like reference the second 300 movie.
The second
like
300 movie.
Like everyone's going to know what the second 300 movie is. Was it Rise of Xerxes? I believe it was the Rise of Xerxes.
The only thing I remember about that movie is there is a very violent sex scene in it.
Oh, great. Was it not Rise of Xerxes? No, Rise of the Empire. Rise of the Empire. Damn.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Xerxes. Murray the Demonic Skull, thank you so much with 10 Canadian dollars. OCD kicking in to spend money. The child. Okay, this is actually Murray the Demonic Skull is correcting. The story I was thinking of was not the lottery. OCD kicking in to spend money. The child being tortured to bring about a utopia is Those Who Walk from Omelas by Ursula Le Guin. The lottery is full of people who pull from a hat, and then a winner is stoned. Thank you, Murray. That is the story I was thinking of. The first one, Ursula Le Guin one.
Those both sound like the same premise, though.
They're both kind of like bad news bears stories. But the first one was the one I was initially referencing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's so many people that didn't know there was a sequel to 300.
They shouldn't know. We just talked about ignore the bad things, and Nick is like, here, let me put a new bad thing into your life. Like, fuck off. What are you doing?
I was a teenager when it came out. What do you want from me? You're stupid.
To grow up and stop bringing up 302. Dower Dodger with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. It's up to the individual to seek out critical reviews and ignore the other noise. I agree with that, but it is just tough because, you know, like, I'm not a developer, but I've heard many developers say like a Steam overwhelmingly positive, overwhelmingly negative can make or break a game. And if like those metrics feel artificially inflated by one thing or another, then that sucks for them, right? Like, and
yeah, the layperson won't know why, like they won't have the context for like why a thing is showing overwhelmingly this or that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I can understand why that would be problematic for sure.
And this does feel like this is one of those conversations where it kind of does, like the media literacy conversations feel like we're kind of preaching to the choir. It feels like if you're the kind of person who tunes into Second Wind stuff somewhat regularly,
that shit. Yeah.
Like you just know you're kind of more savvy than 99% of the people out there. So like it's one of those annoying things where it's kind of like we're just complaining about this because we need to complain about it, which maybe is the problem.
I think it's more interesting of just how these things evolve over time, which is why I wrote about it this week. Because I didn't really focus on, I don't know, you read the piece, Marty. I didn't really over focus on the content creator side of more just like so much of the anger and all that really does just feel forced these days. And then like, Casey, you're right. Definitely ignore the grifter stuff. But like, I think more the thing that annoys me more than the grifter stuff is all this focus on player counts constantly. It's like, most multiplayer games don't have 100,000 concurrent players at any given time.
Yeah,
and like people just look. Yeah, well, people just take a look at those numbers and be like, "Oh, a game has 7,000 concurrent players right now. It means it's dead." It's like you realize, like, if you look at that graph and there are 7,000 people concurrently playing the game 24 hours a day, that's a lot of people. Like,
yeah, that is not only 7,000 people care about this game.
Yeah, and that's the way they present those numbers. It's like what those developers and companies are looking at are like monthly active users. So Battlefield 6, 60,000, active players at any given moment on that game. Well, they have millions of monthly active users. That's what they're looking at. And so a game, like Insurgency, Sandstorm, had only ever peaked, I think, at best 14,000 active players. And that is a successful franchise for Focus Entertainment. Squad never peaked over, I don't think it ever peaked over 100,000. Hell Let Loose never peaked over 100,000. It's getting a sequel. I know the difference here is that, Highguard is a free-to-play game, but even then, if they're not a publicly traded company, they don't need 100,000 players to be successful. And that's what they said. Like, we need a core, solid, steady player base. And having anywhere between 5 to 10,000 players in your game at any given moment, that's really good, actually.
For an indie game. Like, I guess, do we know how big the studio is? Like, I know they, touted
it's
former
like 100 people, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't see the studio staying the way it is if the game doesn't pick up in pace and getting more players. I'm sure they're going to have to downsize at some point and probably overinvested in this project, but it doesn't mean like it's not going to continue to have a life. So I don't know, but it's just like, I wish reporters would get smarter about the player count numbers because they are not giving the context of what they actually mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brick in the Head, thank you so much for another $10. Responded to Murder the Demonic Skull with that short story correction. How did you escape from Monkey Island? The last time I saw you, you were sitting on a shelf in LeChuck's Demonic Amusement Park. Shout out to Murray the Demonic Skull from the hit video game Monkey Island. What a game. What a game. Yeah, any further thoughts on kind of Highguard on this stuff in general? We had Nix brought up a good point. NYX over in the Patreon said, if it's true that Jeff gave away the spot because he liked it, then I don't really have a problem with it. We always talk about a game doesn't need to be everyone's game of the year, just someone's. And if Jeff really liked the game, then great. I hope it does well. I really hate when people just come out the gate hating on something because they've actually before they've actually played it for a bit. Yeah, and I think that's kind of the big thing, and it revolves around all these things. Tina's in the comments talking about how that part of this is like if you're a new content creator, the easiest way to get views is to be negative, is to jump on this, and that's an enticing thing to see that number go up. But it's also kind of selling a little bit of your soul every single time, and eventually you hit a point where it's like there's no looking back, and you've just become one of these rage machines, and that's all you have. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what this game looks like in a month, in 2 months, if this game manages to have the legs and sticks around and grows into something, listens to some of that feedback. Do you think this would have been, I mean, it's free to play, so it's kind of like, does it need an early, but do you think this game could have benefited from, here's an early access weekend where people play and we take your feedback from it. So instead of people getting immediately angry and saying the game is dead, maybe some of that feedback is
I don't know.
Kneaded into the dough somehow?
Usually I would say yes, but these days I really don't know because Splitgate kind of had that unlaunched and relaunched, and the relaunch has gone even poorly even worse than launch did. So I don't know. Like everybody's saying they didn't play test it. I don't know where anybody's hearing that. I imagine they play tested the hell out of this game
because they didn't see it publicly play tested. Yeah,
yeah, just no public play test.
99.9% of games aren't play tested publicly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think on the flip side of all the negativity, there are people that are going to want this game to succeed out of spite now and will support it to do so. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
So. I mean, I'll be honest. I think it's fun. I think what it's doing is fun. Could it use maybe some tweaks? Probably, but like what multiplayer, what multiplayer live service thing doesn't go through some sort of like changing or curve after players give them feedback. I can't say that like playtesting would have gotten those results so that whenever it was quote unquote 1.0, that it was the perfect thing that everyone wanted to see. It was always going to be iterative in that way. So I think it's fine that they just put it out there. What's sad is just sort of the cloud hanging over it, because it really just seems wildly unnecessary. Like Nick said, like this just was the thing chosen because there just really wasn't anything else for those types to latch onto. And that really sucks. Like that really sucks.
Yeah.
Because like every game, every studio that puts this much effort into a thing deserves a fair shot. And like, it doesn't feel like that's what this game is getting because of the noise around it. So I just hope if anyone is curious about these sorts of games to give it a try for yourself. Like it's free to play. So like there's no reason not to if you have interest. And just see if you like it or not. Like if you don't, you don't. But if you do, then it would suck if there was something there and it could have been successful, but like too many people were turned away because of the noise. Like that would be super unfortunate.
Does it feel like a game that kind of needs to be played with like mics on with people kind of like? Is this a game that kind of feels like it needs?
That'll definitely help. Yeah, like I had a good. I'll say it again. Like I played solo. The first round I played, it was legitimately a really good time because like for me, I just kind of understood exactly what they were doing over the course of it. But like, absolutely, if you have some friends who are more into these, then maybe they can kite some newer players through, and like it'll be a much more fun experience for the early goings for them. Like friends always help with these sorts of things. So
yeah,
I think the one thing, like if they were going to do a radical shift, like these, I think like these developers that keep trying to target the really competitive audience, because this, like, I don't know, Casey, maybe you disagree with me, but the way this game plays right now feels like an esports targeted game and not a casual, fun, goofy multiplayer game. Like this feels like a sweaty shooter as it is right now.
Maybe like feel wise, I don't know.
I mean,
but like it probably has the potential to get there.
Well, I mean, all the mechanics are built around being pretty sweaty. I think it's not a Halo where you can just shoot a rifle.
Yeah, you're right. That it's not. Yeah, it's not casual at all. Like it's borrowing from a lot of other very highly competitive shooters.
Yeah, so
it is made up of all those pieces.
If it were me making these types of games, like you got to start targeting the casual audience if you want a massive audience for these games. I mean, like every once in a blue moon, you get a big successful one like Marvel Rivals, but I think we've talked about before, like I think that hit at the perfect time because everybody was upset with Overwatch. And people were looking for another Overwatch and got it. But with this type of game, with Concord, all that, they keep targeting the same competitive hardcore audiences. And like I could see this game doing so much better if it was a sandbox multiplayer game like Halo and just more focused on fun and the chaos of the moment rather than competitive. That's my take on it. Like I think every single one of these ultra competitive games seems to sink under its own weight.
So many sweaties out there.
There are. But so
many drops of sweat.
Problem with like these free to play games is like you don't get in at the ground floor, then the skill gap becomes so big that you never get in.
Yeah. Infinite DM says, any recommendations for sort of entry level shooters?
I mean, Battlefield and Call of Duty are kind of your casual games for the most part.
Two of the most popular.
Yeah, those are probably
yeah.
Those are probably the most casual.
Yeah, I think like a good middle ground is Hell Let Loose. But yeah, there's not a ton of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if what happens from this going forward. Tina with a $5 dono. Tina, you gotta stop donating.
Don't stop. Stop learning from Eric.
But from a great point of view, says it's insane from a dev perspective to see shooters being punished for Concord. That's another thing that is it does feel like games like this pay for the sins of their fathers, kind of thing. Like they a game like Concord, which was what at this point a year and a half ago, like is still like the game that everyone brings up. I don't know. It's do we see that in other like spaces? Like, I don't know. Like, are people, if they see a vampire game, gonna constantly bring up Redfall, or like is a Lord of the Rings game gonna constantly? Yeah, I don't know, but like if something looks like GTA,
I think Concord was just such a cultural moment. It became it's a meme on its own.
Yeah.
And also
it was shocking.
I mean, it was a shocking failure. But I think I'm not going to put all the onus on them, but the creators that we've been talking about went on about that game for months, where everybody else just played it, said there's nothing here, and forgot about it.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, there was also an agenda.
Yeah,
behind the dragging of Concord, but like it's twofold, because like long before Concord, the fatigue of kind of everyone jumping into that fray was being felt. Like there were a lot of other like battle royale, tactical hero shooter followers that jumped in after like the big ones started like taking their positions. And so like there was a real fatigue from players to say like, can we do something that's not this? And then a new one showed up with a massive budget, with a lot of marketing, one of the big three publishers drops, and then is immediately like ripped back out. Like that's kind of unheard of. Like, so it definitely was this sort of moment that felt like, now will they listen to the idea that maybe we need less of these? And then you get Highguard after that fact, and folks want to keep that energy going. But that's weird, because Arc Raiders came out before that, and folks were like, you know what, this one is fine.
Well, Arc Raiders is a hero shooter. It's very different.
Well, yeah, I know it's not, apple to oranges. But it's also I don't feel like it's apple and oranges, because like there were other like extraction shooters, other battle royales, other hero, like there were a lot of them in the shooter genre period that were all sort of just falling victims to the fact that there were bigger established things in those categories and nothing could break in, and then one did. So like I just personally don't understand why that one did versus kind of a lot of these other ones. Like maybe it was a quality thing, and if that's the case, then why shouldn't anyone else who thinks they have a quality shooter, which I'm assuming, of course, Wildlight would believe like, oh, we know how to make one of these, would be like, we're not like all these other guys who are following. We know how to make these games. They would put theirs out and they would stand behind it.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of said as much in their their press interviews, where it's like shooters are still the lifeblood of the industry. Like the top five of the top 10 games on Steam are all shooters. So like if you think you can break in and you have a shot, like, yeah, why wouldn't you take that chance?
Yeah.
That said, I think the only final point I make on that is I think it's not the genre that's the problem, and it's not the quality of the game that's the problem. I think it's an identity crisis for a lot of these games, because if you do look at the big shooters that have made it, I mean, as much as people don't want to admit it, they are the more grimy, military feeling shooters that have a clear aesthetic to them, and not, this mishmash fantasy sci-fi stuff. Like people seem to not like that aesthetic.
I mean, then explain Valorant, because that one was a new one that came and
Riot
right at the gate, folks were into it.
Came from Riot.
Yeah, it could have a that community bump, but Jeffrey at Mouth with $5 dono has an interesting thought. Said, in my opinion, another issue is that no one wants to put time into a game that requires hundreds of hours to get good if the game might fail in a couple months. That is kind of a decent point of I don't know. Do you want to like kind of put your eggs in this basket and be like, I'm going to invest time and money into this thing if you aren't 100% sure that it's still going to be there or that the player base is still going to be there? Yeah. Be like booking a vacation a year down the road for a place where you're like, is this place even going to exist then?
Hurricane Steve comes by and
yeah, exactly. Goddamn Hurricane Steve.
There's always a chance, they make some updates and gets people reinterested in the game, but
I think we've seen
it's going to be
make 180s before.
It's going to be a big uphill battle for them to fix that narrative, though. That's cemented now.
Yeah. I think the secret is everyone should just put Solid Snake in their game. That's how you get me interested in good.
If you put Rainbow Six Siege,
yeah. Which I'm incredibly upset that Casey didn't tell me about. I had to find out via a fucking video.
Look, hey, anyone from Ubisoft listening, I ain't no snitch. Marty can tell you.
I'm not snitch. To his own detriment.
I'm not no snitch.
I had to find out with every other peon out there that Solid Snake's coming down.
I'm actually upset they're adding him into the game because they keep distilling the aesthetic of that game. It's bothering
Solid
me.
Snake fits in way closer than even some of the proper ops, I feel like.
They put a Tomb Raider skin in. They put a Halo skin in.
Yeah,
Master Chief is bursting through walls in there. You're mad at Solid Snake?
First off, Solid Snake 100% fits in.
I held to my morals and I did not buy the Master Chief skin. You're welcome. Maybe you're not. I don't know. I might have called this.
You're welcome. Who? I'm not saying thank you. What am I? I'm clapping for you like a fucking nurse during COVID. Get out of here. Let's chat about stuff we've been playing.
Sure.
Nick, you've been. I think one of the big games this week. Reviews just came out. I think. I don't think it's a spoiler to say Yahtzee will be reviewing it down the road. Is Cairn? What did you think of the new climbing simulator, Cairn? Cairn.
I loved it. It's so very good. It has ruined climbing for me in any other game I will ever play going forward. If your climbing is just moving an analog stick up to predetermined ledges, I will be bored. So if you're a developer watching and you don't copy what Cairn did in some, even if it's basic, in some form, and your climbing is just me clicking A and up or to the side, I will be upset with you and knock your game down a point or two.
Oh no, you're becoming that reviewer we don't like. This is the latest game. We've been covering, following this one for a while. The latest game from the French studio, the Game Breakers, former Ubisoft devs who best known for Fury and Haven, which indie games that came out over the past 10 years. This seems kind of like a new leveling up for them, judging by all the all the reviews. What's the we climb in a lot of games, and there's we had Jusant recently. There was that Valley Peaks indie game. Climbing is in almost every big budget AAA game. Like, what is it about the climbing in Cairn that stuck out to you so much?
I'm gonna mention a game that is near and dear to our hearts here. Jusant, which we streamed for over a year at the Escapist before it was finally shut down. When that game came out, that was the experience. Like, Cairn is what I wanted from Jusant. Jusant was also a game about climbing a mountain, getting to the top, but it was very choreographed in where you went in the game. Like, there was very much there were multiple paths you could take, but like Eric showing the footage, like every rock is kind of sticking out from the wall. Every hand grip is pretty obvious where you climb. Cairn is the first, not even puzzly. I mean, very light puzzly. That was more of like a make you feel something game, I suppose. Cairn, in the way that you play that game, is like there is no path that you have to take to get up this mountain. You get in the game, they give you a quick tutorial of here's how you climb, here's how you manage your stamina. You need to make sure that you have food and water. It's like a full-on climbing experience. And so you get to your first wall and you get like you hold LB on the controller and it pans out and you get to see the entire, kind of wall you're about to climb. And you got to really look at it and like, where can I grab to get up this place. And so like if a rock is just smooth, it's not like Tears of the Kingdom or anything where you could just grab it and keep going. Like you have to strategically place your hands and feet in the grooves of the rock and the places that you can grab, and pay attention to like your positioning, because each arm and leg is controlled individually. It's not as it's not as complicated as I make it sound it to be. You're basically moving one at a time, climbing up, and as soon as you get in the motion of it, it feels really intuitive. But let's say like you're on a ledge and you need to get above you can like hold on to the rock wall with your hand a little bit and then reach up, but you're going to waste your stamina a lot quicker and you will fall. And so you don't get an unlimited amount of resources, like even your I forget what they're called, but basically the screws that you put into the rock to pitons, to hold yourself in. Those are limited. They can break. You have to deal with the elements like rain, and even darkness makes it harder to climb. So you have a light that you can bring with you, and just like the tension. Like I've never played a game where climbing gave me as much tension as I had in Cairn, of like getting stuck somewhere. I'm like, oh shit, like I have to go back down. There is no path forward. I can't just cheese my way up. You gotta it's a little bit of trial and error, but like every time you reach a summit, it's like, oh I made it kind of thing. Just a really, really wonderful experience of a game and mechanics. Like, a little bit of jank here and there, but for the most part, like I think the game is incredible for what they were able to do.
How longish do you think the story took you?
Took me about 8 hours to beat the game.
Nice. Yeah, this is out now on PC and PS5. I did play the tutorial on Steam Deck, and it runs nicely on Steam Deck, which is good. I'm really excited to.
Could be a lot longer. I didn't do a lot of exploring. There's like a lot of lore about the mountain to find. I think there's
mountain lore.
There's a lot of secret areas to like find and climb to. So if you're a completionist, I bet this would take like probably 15 hours if you're a completionist.
Yeah.
Dang, touch every rock.
You get an achievement if you touch every single rock. Yeah.
Sovereign 46 says, I'm not scared of heights, but this is still giving me shivers. You see, like when I played climbing games in VR, like The Climb, I wanted that like feeling of vertigo. This game actually gave me that, even not being in VR.
There you go. Give yourself vertigo. Give yourself the gift of vertigo this weekend and download Cairn. Dower Dodger with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Dower Dodger. Said, do the handholds and feet control like baby steps?
Yes. So yeah, it is like you move one limb at a time. You can switch. You can hold RB and like switch to which limb you need if you need to.
Yeah.
But the game does a really good job at like predicting which limb you need to move next to climb. So if you're like on a ledge and you're doing the hand over cross or whatever, like it will accurately pick your right hand, your left hand, your right foot, your left foot, and kind of keep you in that motion.
Yeah, I think it's much quicker to wrap your head around than baby steps. I played half an hour of Cairn and almost instantly felt like I got it, whereas I played several hours of baby steps and at no point did I feel like I ever got any better at the game.
Yeah, baby steps want you to feel like a baby. This wants you to feel like a professional climber. So
to feel like a real Cairn. Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. We'll have more on that in the near future.
So I'm so upset that I did not redraft it for my fantasy draft. I don't remember if we made a rule
Nick was
that
all
we couldn't
bragging,
redraft games.
being like, "Ooh, I got the biggest first big game of the year," and I was like, "You did not. That was a last year game. That was a last year game." But
and then I went to the gym and walked an hour in shame.
Also, big news for Casey. Hamura Hime got release date. That's coming out in March or April. So
really, I did not redraft that either.
No.
We're all fucked.
Big news. For
of course, I drafted.
I don't think that game's gonna. I don't think that game's gonna actually score that high.
Did you draft Far Cry 7?
Hands on the demo.
I did draft Far Cry 7, and then like a week later, like, dummy.
That's not good. That's not good at all. What else? What else are you been playing, Nick?
I did try the Neo 3 demo today. That
Nice.
dropped on PS5 and Steam. I don't know if it's on Xbox too. I gotta be honest, like every time I play a Team Ninja game, I'm like, I can't decide if I like it or not. Because I know I streamed Neo 2 And the whole time I was like, I don't know if I like this. I played a bunch of Rise of the Ronin. Once again, I was like, I don't know if I like this. And Neo 3.
You want me to tell you something? You don't. If you like something, you know you like it. If you're battling with whether you like something or not, then chances are you don't. You want to like it, but you don't like it.
But like, I want to keep playing it.
But then keep playing it. You might eventually like it.
But then I look at my loot and I'm like, I hate you. I hate you so much. Why did you bring back this loot system?
Oh, they're still doing that?
Oh, it's so goddamn frustrating. Like,
just do it, Jack. Just replay Dark Souls.
Every single thing, thing you killed, like drops like 4 different pieces of loot. They all have the same names on them, and I'm like, I don't know what to do here, and I don't want to be in menus. That said, Neo, I do not. The reason I didn't stick with Neo 2 is I don't like the mission structure of. I think Neo 1 and 2, where like you're in missions, you don't really get to do a lot of exploring. Neo 3, the areas are there's I think there's 3 zones in the game, and they're big, open, explorable areas. And that clicked with me a lot faster than Neo 2 did. Like, I did have a good time with the demo today. The combat takes some getting used to because they definitely are doing this like different thing where you have samurai stance and ninja stance. And then too, like a big part of it is like parrying, which includes how you parry is using the stance switcher to parry, which like you go from, big heavy slashes to all of a sudden being a very quick ninja. And that takes some fooling around with to actually get. The first like major story boss was kicking my ass for a bit, and then I figured it out. But I do want to play the full release after playing the demo. I like the structure of what they're doing. So if you haven't played the demo yet, basically you get put into the first major zone, and you're kind of locked off to like two key areas that lead you to the first main boss, and there's a bunch of different things to do and upgrade within those areas, some mini bosses to fight, and then you get to the main boss. And then it seems after you hit that main boss, then the game opens up and you can kind of do it in any order, but also like each area has a level recommendation. So I don't know, but yeah, we'll see we'll see if I stick with this one. I always end up popping off the Neo games because I just can't stand the loot system. I feel like I spend more time in menus than I do playing the game.
Sure. I don't know.
This
loot heavy shit just might not be for you. No. You been playing anything else?
What did I put on my list? The only other
Nordhold. The only other thing I went back to is NordVPN hold.
I am back on my Nordhold train. I got a big update not too long ago with like some new towers and stuff like that. I did a video essay on this one. I don't remember if I brought it to this channel or not, but it's, in short, it's a tower defense game. That's all it is. It's really fucking hard. It's got like roguelike progression. And it's very addicting. And that's all I'm really going to say about it. Like, if you want a dumb, addicting tower defense game, go play this game.
You sound like you're enjoying Nordhold more than Neo 3. I think you just keep playing Nordhold.
I came back from the gym yesterday and I spent about 3 hours in a Nordhold somehow. That game eats your time up.
It's a Nord-like.
Figure out how to play Nordhold while at the gym and you're golden.
Think about that. Think about how buff you would need a keyboard. Worked out while Nording.
I would need a keyboard and mouse. No, I'm getting buff because I just go to the gym and I'm watching hockey the entire time. It's great.
That's not how you get buff.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm doing stuff while watching hockey.
Oh, I thought you were just like sitting there watching hockey. Like
you go to the gym, just sit at a table.
You still need to do the things.
I'm actually on a chair on the treadmill, just moving my feet.
Yeah. There you go. Cool. Resident Chuni, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Said, hot take, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy is the best Neo game. Listen, I fucking adored Stranger of Paradise. But also, if it wasn't Final Fantasy, I think I'd hate it. So
have you both like played Team Ninja games? Like, do you
play Stranger of Paradise? Final Fantasy. Played that.
No,
I'm actually not crazy about Team Ninja games, personally.
Wolong
I did
was
like
the last
Wolong,
one I played.
but their loot system annoyed the shit out of me.
Ninja Gaiden was the last one I played. Ninja Gaiden 4.
Ninja Gaiden 4. Yeah.
I feel like Platinum Games kept them from doing their worst instincts, though, as a developer.
Probably. That probably checks out.
My only other problem with like Team Ninja games is like their visual style is always so muddy. It's like my biggest complaint with Neo 3 right now is like that first area, like you probably seen in the trailers, it's like kind of like a dark red, like very dark and red and like Kiwi kind of all over the place, and it's kind of hard to see.
You don't like deserts, you don't like mud. Where do you want to fight? Where should the first level of a game be? Forest? Prairie?
Clouds? Start in heaven?
Yeah.
Work your way to hell?
Yeah.
You know what? Wukong starts in the clouds. It's great.
That's true. There you go.
Oh, it does.
One game that did start off relatively colorful that Casey and I played the first 2 hours of last night. Well, Casey played and I watched was Code Vein 2. Casey, what did you think of the opening of Code Vein 2?
There were that many cutscenes in a Souls-like. That's not a good sign.
Well, it's anime. It's very anime, so that is par for the course when you have the anime boys and girls. But yeah, I at the end of the 2 hours, because I only spent the 2 hours, I didn't go back yet. I was left kind of positive on it. Mm-hmm. Like the original Code Vein was like an early Souls like, and it was the first one that decided that they were going to use anime aesthetics on top of like that sort of darker, slower combat. And similar to that, Code Vein 2 is doing that, but Elden Ring. So like they're putting you in bigger, wider open areas and kind of letting you explore in whatever direction. Like we were on like kind of a starter island, but even there were like several sort of just random enemies that we could run into, random people around, and just interesting things happening. And I say interesting, but I could not follow. Maybe it's because we were streaming. Sure. Maybe it's because it's all kind of just narrative gobbledygook, but I could not follow what the plot was at all.
Same.
But like it looked cool. Like there were like cool things happening around us. Like there were explosions. There's a girl with a beating heart fully visible in the middle of her chest.
That was very cool.
There was a lady that's just like 3 of you. Like she's just as big as 3 yous.
No, she's just very big.
Just such a huge lady. And honestly, the combat feels faster than I remember. And my memory is so hazy of the first Code Vein. It was so long ago. But combat just felt a lot looser than any Souls-like I've played recently. So it did take a little bit of getting used to, because I guess I just went in expecting more Soulsy-esque combat. But eventually you get used to it. Like fast sword swings, like skills are tied to the weapons, but then they do like that fun sort of thing where like as you use things, you sort of learn them innately, and then you can start to switch off and keep those skills as you start pairing them with like new stuff that you find. It's pretty free in that, whatever weapons you come across, you can use them. If you don't have the stats, they'll maybe give you some penalties, but they don't bar you from like equipping anything. So you really can just kind of go in and do whatever you want and be whatever kind of character you want. So I do want to give it more time. And I'm sure anyone who is into this aesthetic and is fine with, action RPG gameplay, like you'll probably have a good time with this, I can guess. But I'm sure it gets probably a lot more challenging, more complicated down the road.
The reviews that I watched on instead of like one of its weakest aspects, even though it's like open world, is the exploration, which turned me off right away.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you're not going to find any
kind of like tutorial island.
Yeah.
It felt very like not Elden Ring in terms of quality, but Elden Ring in terms of this feels to Elden Ring what the Code Vein is, or what Dark Souls is to Code Vein.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was clear that they were going for the Elden Ring loop, where it's like, here's a big ass area, go nuts. Yeah. And like, of course, there were things that I'm supposed to do, but like I could have done anything, and that's very much not how the first game ran in terms of progression. Yeah.
You been watching or playing anything else?
I started Dr. Stone, which was a very popular anime a while ago. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just didn't pay any attention to it. I finally just stumbled back into it because it's all on Netflix right now. If you don't know, Dr. Stone is essentially, it's not an isekai, but it plays by isekai rules. And that the world essentially ends. Everyone on the planet is mysteriously turned to stone. And then after one of the characters counts it out, after about 3,700 years, only some individuals are starting to like break out. And so the world has basically gone back to an essential Stone Age. It's only like all of technology has been wiped out because of the passage of time. And the first person to awake, or at least the first person we see awake, just happens to be an incredibly genius level high schooler. And so he is literally trying to bring back all of modern technology at an accelerated rate. Like he wants to reform society as quickly as possible. And like his jock best friend, he figures out a way to unstone him immediately after. So it's like he's the brains, that guy's the brawn, and like they're it's at the same time teaching you all of these like fundamental scientific concepts, like ropes and pulley systems, like levers, stuff like that, and then teaching you fundamental elements, like where you can find like copper, like what's it used for, like how to make glass. Like it's a really fun shonen style escalation system of powers, but the power is just scientific discovery, because it's like once you learn these first steps of science, those are the building blocks that now allow you to get to these more advanced levels of science. Like now that we have these materials, we can make iron. Now that we have iron, we can make a generator, because now we have copper, we can make copper wires that gives us light bulbs. So like it's a really fun premise that is legitimately teaching you about yes, very much. It's that same progression you get from like a survival game where like you're building upon all your stuff. And it's really fun. Like the characters are really fun. Like the main character sounds like he looks and sounds like an evil scientist, like a bad guy, but he's just so logical and pragmatic that like that's how he comes off. He's like a really nice guy. Like he does good things for the people around him. And like the main conflict isn't just the mystery of like how everyone turned to stone, but it's also that, you know, the world is dangerous. The pair of friends had to revive like this really strong guy early on because like he was able to like help them fight off like, you know, predators or whatnot. But then that guy just figured out, well, if I'm the strongest person in the world, I can basically rule it like a king the way I want to. Therefore, I need to kill the smart guy because he's going to bring everyone back and bring all the technology back that'll make me not the strongest man in the world again. So then they become at odds, and it's this sort of battle now of like strength versus science. Like they're building separate societies and will eventually at some point have to go to war over the fate of like the future of the world. So like I'm like I've been hooked and like been binging episodes
nice.
As soon as I started. Like it's really, really strong hook, really fun time. Having a good time with
premise
it.
A lot.
Yeah,
I watched the pilot. I never watched anywhere past that, but I enjoyed the premise.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a really fun time. I think that. Oh yeah, I mentioned before that I kept starting and stopping the show Go Go Loser Ranger. Like it was kind of like evil Power Rangers or whatnot.
Yeah, I
had to jump off. It's actually quite terrible. Like it's one of the
suck.
like. I was blaming myself oftentimes because I kept stopping and coming back. Like I would forget I was watching it, which usually isn't a good sign. But I was such a fan of that premise. Like it's a good setup to be trying to break into and reveal and take down a bunch of poser evil Power Rangers. But the thing is, I would come back and then like forget everything that happened before. But it wasn't that I was forgetting what happened before. It was that each episode would skip into like weird sections of the plot that just didn't add up. So like the pacing of the storytelling was actually just really fucked up. So where like I was just very confused every episode. Like when I went back and started watching it consistently, it was like I still don't understand what's going on. I don't know why these two characters are talking to each other. Like this is a person who it seems like everyone knows but me. Like it was just so confusing and frustrating to watch. And then it got to this point where okay, we're doing a sort of tournament arc, which every shonen show will get into a tournament arc. That's usually like the highlight where you get to see all these new characters or the old characters that you know, and you know they're displaying their powers and telling you their backstories. Like it's good shit for anime boys. But I didn't give a shit about anyone. All of the fighting was terrible. All of the storytelling was uninteresting. Like in the middle of the episode, I'm like, is something wrong with this show? Like, did something happen with production? I stopped the episode mid episode to go and search the internet for why this was so bad. And like, I found reviews of people being positive on it. So maybe I'm a minority, but this show is complete garbage in my mind. I had to stop watching after that. Like I could not take it anymore. It's been a long time since I've ever done that, where like in the middle of the thing I'm watching. I didn't let the episode finish. I had to investigate why it was so bad to me.
Yeah. I feel like there's just sometimes like something that's like universally beloved. I'll just be like, I don't understand what is the appeal of this. Like I watched all of Death Note and I was like, I don't get this.
Well, you are that one is strange.
That is weird. All right, it's a weird thing.
You should like Death Note.
Yeah, I don't know. I swear to God, I am not goofing when I say I think I enjoyed the live action movie better than the series, because at least it was out of my life in like 90 minutes, and Willem Dafoe is cool. Which is I think that's a me thing. Don't take it out on Death Note. Just take it out on me.
But yeah, that's
anything else. Nice.
Nah.
I have a handful of things. I'll go through them relatively quickly. In terms of watching, I'm 3 episodes into Wonder Man, the new Marvel show. The entire 7 episodes, I believe 7 or 8 episodes, dropped on Disney Plus. After 3 episodes, I absolutely love it. This is among my favorite MCU stuff since Phase 4. So yeah, I think this is what the show feels more like a show about Hollywood with like a little bit of Marvel stuff in it, at least after these first 3 episodes. And mostly each episode is like a two-hander between Yahya Abdul-Mateen's character, who's like an aspiring actor with these powers that he's trying to hide, and Ben Kingsley's character that he played in Iron Man 3 and Shang-Chi, like the disgraced, actor who played the Mandarin in Iron Man 3 and didn't really realize, oh, I was playing a terrorist for terrorists. Like, that's not good. But the two of them are just incredible throughout the entirety. Like the writing is phenomenal. Darren has described the show as some of it feels a lot like Atlanta, and I completely agree. And apparently the 4th episode, which I'm going to watch tonight, is like almost feels like a direct 1-to-1, like feels like an episode that could have been pulled out of Atlanta. I think the show is great so far, and it's one of those things that feels like, despite the fact that the Ben Kingsley character is in there, it feels completely removed from the greater MCU, which I think is good. I don't think everything has to be part of this ongoing story that leads to Doomsday or whatever. I think sometimes we could just have a standalone thing that's really good on its own, and this feels like a standalone thing that's really good on its own. And
you know what standalone thing is getting like a what would be like a redemption arc on social media right now? Is the Acolyte.
Oh, it's fine. I think people are finally realizing the Acolyte was good. It had like the sickest fucking lightsaber action of any Star Wars thing ever.
It was quality. I liked it a lot.
Haters. Fucking haters. On the game front, I'm still chipping away at Mio. M-I-O, Mio Memories in Orbit. That was the Metroidvania I talked about last week. I'm liking it more and more the further I get in. Its first hour, 90 minutes was a little rocky for me. I felt very, very blind going through the world and very unsure of my abilities and my ultimate goals. Once that kind of ironed out a little bit with each new Metroidvania movement ability I get, I'm liking the game more and more. And it's, I got the grappling hook. I got an ability to kind of slowly glide down. I got the ability to climb walls. But those abilities, like the best Metroidvanias, are for traversal, for puzzle solving, and for combat. And the combat is really starting to build on me. It has an interesting thing that you are meant to be airborne as often as possible because you kind of recharge your double jump every time you hit an enemy. So you can kind of like constantly be like zigzagging around them and staying in the air. And a lot of the boss fights end up kind of requiring that because it'll put some sort of a thing on the ground where you know, almost like the floor is lava kind of thing. So, yeah, really, I'm really enjoying Mio Memories in Orbit so far. I haven't played it for the last few days. Want to get back to it. Also came out today, which or came out recently. I don't know if it was today, but Yahtzee's Fully Randmatic went up today for Escape from Ever After, and I echo a lot of his sentiments about that game. If you like Paper Mario, play this game. Like, this is the best traditional formula Paper Mario game that isn't Thousand Year Door. I think this is better than the original Paper Mario, if I'm being honest. It's better than all the what was like there's Bug Fables and then Bread Tales, I think, or it's a Born of Bread.
I think. Yeah,
Born from Bread. I think this game, those feel like those feel like trying unsuccessfully to recapture the magic of Thousand Year Door. I feel like this genuinely does recapture it. I think the writing and the scenarios are like genuinely funny and witty and charming. I really love the slow gathering of characters you have in your party, all pulled from different fairy tales, and it works. Combat and everything works the same way as traditional Mario Party games, where the combat has kind of the timing based offensive and defensive thing of every attack. You can get a little bit extra with your attacks. You can survive a little bit more with your defense, and then outside of battle, your characters are each there for solving puzzles and for traversing the place. Like you have it's funny, you're the first party member you get it's ostensibly like your Bowser, but he's been shrunk down with thanks to this collar, and so he's just like this little dragon who's just kind of an asshole and doesn't like you but has to join your party because this corporation's stolen his castle, and he's able to breathe fire, and so you can use that to breathe fire to burn hay in order to find secret passages, or to light torches to be able to light a room. And each chapter is just incredibly charming. Like the first one, you're taking down this shady Three Little Pig construction company, and the second one, it's like tracking down Sherlock Holmes in this Lovecraftian seaside town. Then you're treasure hunting on a pirate ship.
So it's not just like fairy tales. It's like just like books and storytelling in general.
Yeah. The crux of it is this like megacorp has taken over, who is kind of commodifying all fairy tales and like old IP, Sherlock Holmes and Cthulhu stuff, and so it's you trying to figure out almost trying to figure out a way to rise up the ranks in this company because you are employed by them, in order to be able to sabotage them from the inside.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, really, really fun. Just really, really digging it. I haven't finished it yet, but I've been slow. I think I'm pretty close, because I think it's like a 12-hour game and I have about 10 hours into it. So really enjoying it. I think this is on all platforms now. Yeah, again, if you like Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door especially, this is the best version of that since the GameCube, in my opinion. So nice. Check out that one, Escape from Ever After. And then the last thing I wrote a column about earlier this week, but I've been digging into these Nintendo 64 decomps, which I don't fully understand, but ostensibly it is people who are able to take the code of a Nintendo 64 game and backwards engineer it to where you don't need to run it on a Nintendo 64 or an emulator. You can run it natively on PC hardware. And so they are ostensibly
I just saw a thing about
PC ports. And it's only, they have to do it on a game by game basis. It's not like a magical wave a wand kind of thing, but you run it, you can run on PC. You need to supply the actual files of the game, a ROM of the game, which I don't know if anyone's ever downloaded a ROM, but that's illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah,
nudge.
Do that.
But once you have these games up, the work that goes into them, particularly the Ocarina of Time port, is called the Ship of Harkinian, which Harkinian is I believe the name of the king in the shitty Zelda cartoon, which is a little goof. But that port, the amount of options in it is out of control. You are able to go in and immediately, just in the middle of the game, open up a menu and you can toggle textures. You can change the color of anything you want in the game. You can use the second analog stick as a free camera in Ocarina of Time. It just plays like a modern game. You can zoom the camera out, so suddenly Hyrule, you look tiny running around Hyrule. You can click on randomizers at any point. There's this massive menu of time savers of I don't want the owl to ever talk to me, or I want to, when I climb things, I want to climb hella fast, or I want immediately I want the biggest wallet when I start the game. Any of these things, you can play the game however you want. I've finished Ocarina of Time a million times, and it felt fresh to me for the first time probably since the 3DS version. So just kind of amazing. Amazing what people are able to do, apparently it's the thing itself is legal because they are doing nothing with the assets from the game. You need to supply your own assets via those ROMs, but the actual source code that is decompiled,
right,
Yeah, but yeah, there's the same thing. I've got it up and running. The reason I got into it was because the Banjo-Kazooie one came out last weekend, and that kind of led me down the rabbit hole. But there's ones for Diddy Kong Racing. There's ones for Quest 64, for Legends of the Mystical Ninja 64. People are working on ones for PS1 games like Legend of Dragoon. So just constantly impressed by people who make no money off this and do it purely as a passion project. I don't know. This feels like a kind of game preservation that I can really get behind. In the same way I've talked about, the kind of amateur like localizers who take a game that's never been localized into English. Mother 3. The only reason people are able to play that in English is because people, for free localize that game and put them online. So, I think really cool. That's my Steam Deck is done. I'm considering I have those two handhelds. So I have like the Retroid Pocket, which to me is like a time machine because I just have it loaded with emulators. And now my Steam Deck is becoming like a weird, like multiversal machine to where it's like I'm going to go to a time when Ocarina of Time was made on a console that could actually support it, unlike the Nintendo 64. So I think it's really cool. Highly recommend anyone who's into Nintendo 64 to check that stuff out. Just Google Ocarina of Time ship of Harkinian. I'm not going to give you a step-by-step of how to do this because I don't want Shigeru Miyamoto to cry, but you can if I could figure it out, you can figure it out. I don't know how any of this stuff works, and I figured it out. I'm a big old idiot.
Nice.
Awesome. And then one last super chat that came in. Thank you so much. S6 is my handle. $5 Australian. Thank you so much, S6. Not sure if already answered. Is Second Wind going on a general strike? No streams or VODs on Friday the 30th. Let's get political. I literally did not know there was a general strike. Is that tomorrow?
It's supposed to be tomorrow. I'm
not going to work. Solidarity.
You know what? Fine.
I just don't want to work. I just also don't want to work. I literally did not know this was a thing that was happening.
This is my first time over hearing of this as well, but I also don't have any streams, so we're probably the wrong group to ask to not
we could put up Unpacked on Saturday. I don't want to ruin your Unpacked. It's your video. You and Aaron.
You know what I'll say? Aside from watching Unpacked tomorrow, I think MinMax is doing their Ice Out of Minnesota stream tomorrow with Giant Bomb, so go watch that.
Oh, I did see them.
I saw that, yes.
Yeah, where's that? Yeah, we don't have any streams planned at Second Wind, but there is this. Oh my god, how do the links work? There you go. Boop. Everyone go watch this tomorrow.
I think and make sure you tell them Second Wind sent you.
Tell them Large Marge sent you.
Tell them we'll blow our wind into Minnesota and kick ice out.
You don't want to blow. No, it's too cold there to blow wind in there.
That'll freeze them out.
It's too cold. It needs to be less cold. It needs to be absolutely less cold. But yeah, obviously, solidarity with anyone doing any of that because the world is a fucked up place, and I appreciate anyone doing anything to try to make it a little bit better. Yes, and fuck ice, except for the slippery ice. I like slippery ice.
Fuck that too.
I know. Listen, there's a bad. I really put my foot in my mouth a few weeks ago when I was talking about how much I like ice, the frozen water, because I think it's funny when people slip. Ice the organization, go kick rocks.
One of my gutters like leaks right out into my driveway, right where my front door steps are.
Yeah, that sounds like a hazard.
Yeah, I mean, like I should go get salt, but then I was like, well. I have a no solicitor sign on my door, and solicitors still show up. So now if they show up, it's their fault. It's a good deterrent.
Still sue you.
Yeah, I think they can still sue you.
I don't think sue them for showing up to solicit.
I put this sign up that has no legal bearing. I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work in court. Incredible.
So I just point that says it right there.
Yeah, it says that. I don't know what you guys want.
Oh, we want a sign that says slippery ice.
I'm just going to have a sign that says, you can't sue me. Did you not see my you can't sue me sign? Because it sounds like you're trying to sue me. Incredible. I think that's going to do it for us for today's episode of Firelink. Casey, what do you got going on that folks should know about?
I should have my Patreon video dropping on Patreon when? Because I don't actually know.
Oh, that was a
I don't know.
Well, because we had I was behind the curtains. We went to we were going to put it up today, and then we realized this literally could not be put up on YouTube because there is so much copyright music in it, and so we needed not only
copyright hits on it.
Not only could we not put it on YouTube for it's on Patreon, so we're not monetizing it, but it is literally like, oh, this would just not go on YouTube because of that. So
it's
we
too
have
hot for YouTube.
Eric has informed us of a way to upload it for people to see in its uncut glory, which hopefully we could probably get tomorrow, unless that's beating scabs. It'll be fine. We'll get it. Fine. There's no crying.
I mean, the video's done already, so we're not working.
No.
But yeah, check that out. Rappers Love Video Games, the Patreon video for January by me. It was a lot of fun to make, and it was it took a long time to make. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Outside of that, me and the wife will probably continue the Seance of Blake Manor. People don't want us to stream, they're saying, right? So you know what? We'll take the day off in solidarity with Minnesota.
Solidarity. I'm gonna go watch a movie with my wife.
Yeah, we'll watch One Battle After Another again about
there you go,
starting a revolution and all that.
Viva la revolution.
Yeah, watching people fuck up the revolution is what that movie was about.
Yeah, there you go. Nick.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll have unpacked out, expanding further on this Highguard topic tomorrow. I need to record an intro from the episode of Beyond the Pixels that I've been sitting on because I'm dumb and I keep forgetting to do it. And Matt's been busy and we're working on other secret things. So I will get that, and you will have a new episode of Beyond the Pixels to listen to very shortly. And then I'm working at some point on this essay on Cairn, which is taking longer than I wanted to.
Just like
because you got to put one hand in front of the other, Nick. Think about that, like Cairn does. But then sometimes you put your foot just goes over here, and it just looks weird.
I keep hearing you guys say Cairn.
It's hard not to say it.
You have to climb up the Cairn. I don't know what you want.
Let's climb up Cairn.
You know what game I'm gonna try tonight though? I got invited
Boggle.
to the.
You can play Boggle?
No, I've played Boggle before. No, I got a beta invite to that Quantic Dream multiplayer game, that Spellcaster Chronicles.
Like
that's a really good name.
The Frenchies Quantic Dream?
Yeah, the Frenchy Quantic Dream.
I didn't know they had a multiplayer game.
That is.
I thought they were just not making that Star Wars game.
No, I know they announced something without giving new information on Star Wars thing, but it's completely dropped out of my brain.
It's another hero shooter.
It says shades from of
the
that
studio that brought you Heavy Rain comes Spellcaster Chronicles.
It says shades of that Remedy multiplayer game that came out last year, where it's like kind of like, why are we doing this? Like,
I was a little excited for that. I thought that was cool.
They added a roguelite mode. I want to try it.
Casey, how much did you play? You said you were excited.
I have not actually played it. I didn't play it at all.
Hey, Marty, you can't say a word, Mister. I haven't watched Avatar.
I got it over 1 billion. That's all that matters.
You didn't. You didn't even support it.
I supported it with my heart. My heart's worth more than my money.
It's not.
There you go. So maybe Nick will have more thoughts on that next week. But yeah, and then for me, no streams. I guess on second until Monday morning. We should have all the normal stuff next week. And then check out a couple of great videos that went up this week on Monday. New episode of Battle Masters. That video is a ton of fun. Both of you were in it, and neither of you mentioned that people should watch it. I wasn't in it, and I think people should watch it personally, but that's just me.
Well, I apologize. You should absolutely watch that video.
I don't want to promote something I didn't win.
Don't spoil it, Nick.
Don't spoil it. Spoilies. On Tuesday, Darren had an excellent backdrop that him and Jesse Schwab, big week for Jesse Schwab, that him and Jesse Schwab put together on the newest Star Trek show and why it seems to kind of go against what Star Trek has always been about. And then earlier today, I had a video essay go up that Jess did an incredible job of producing on the game Big Hops and why it once again proves that frogs are the goat of video game protagonists, not goat like the animal, greatest of all time, GOAT. I do realize saying GOAT makes that whole sentence confusing. Probably should have just chosen a different word. I think that would have made things ezy.
Or just pick a new acronym that talk about frogs.
Goat frog. I don't like any of that. But yeah, thank you guys so much, everyone tuning in live on YouTube, watching the VOD, listening on your podcast service of choice, and especially to everyone in our Patreon and anyone who donated. We appreciate each and every one of you. So for Nick and Casey and Eric, this was Marty. This was Firelink episode number 97. Thank you all so much. Everyone stay warm, stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Casey had something to say. I saw his finger.
Casey has something to say. You know what? I want to hear what Casey's outro is.
Frogs rule on gaming.
You heard it here first, folks.
You forgot the S, though. What's the S?
No, you don't need an S. It's frog.
Frog. Frogs rule
you
on
said
gaming.
frogs.
Frogs rule on gaming. How did it go from me being against KC for doing this to me being on KC's side for this? That's insane how I pivoted 180 on that. I was like, that is extremely dumb, to how dare you say anything about his dumb thing.
It's because I put my 2 cents in.
Frogs rule everything around me, cream. All right, bye, everyone. Everyone have a good weekend.
Bye.